This Lakers-Spurs trade is headlined by Dejounte Murray. There has been a lot of focus on the players that the Los Angeles Lakers have added to their roster for the 2021-2022 season. Los Angeles is one of the oldest teams in the history of the NBA, as they have a veteran-laden roster they are hoping can help get them another championship. Los Angeles has only 3 holdovers from last season's team: LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Talen Horton-Tucker. Of the 10 players they added this offseason, 8 are at least 32 years of age or older. One position that a lot of people will be keeping an eye on is the point guard spot. There has been a lot of naysayers when it comes to the Lakers' ability to acclimate Russell Westbrook onto a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They believe it will work and will use an NBA title as motivation to make it work. But if it doesn't, Los Angeles will have to get creative when finding another point guard. It has been bumpy so far trying to get Westbrook to fit in against higher quality teams, so the question is worth asking. Could Dejounte Murray of the San Antonio Spurs be an option? He's posted impressive averages of 17.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 8.4 assists while converting 44.4% from the field and 37.0% from deep. He could be a more cohesive complement to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Here is a hypothetical deal that would land Dejounte Murray in Hollywood. Los Angeles Lakers receive Dejounte Murray, Keita Bates-Diop. San Antonio Spurs receive Talen Horton-Tucker, Kendrick Nunn. Kent Bazemore 2023 second-round pick via Chicago. What Talen Horton-Tucker can become as a player when LeBron James is no longer playing NBA basketball should not be of concern to the Los Angeles Lakers organization right now. The Los Angeles Lakers' time to win is now. If there is an option for them to improve using a trade to maximize their odds of doing so, it needs to be done. The San Antonio Spurs, on the other hand, need to maximize their young talent on the roster in order to further their rebuilding efforts. Horton-Tucker could be an intriguing option alongside Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell going forward. Dejounte Murray brings a strong on-ball defensive impact along with playmaking. He's shown progress in his scoring ability and could be a very talented backup point guard option for the Lakers. The Lakers did bring in Rajon Rondo in the offseason to be a steady hand off the bench, but adding Murray into the fold would minimize the need for him. Rondo has been ineffective for the last few seasons of his career, so that would be a helpful option. How does this trade impact both teams? Let's take a look at this deal from each of their perspectives, starting with the Lakers. How this trade impacts Los Angeles Lakers. There is going to be a lot of attention paid to the point guard position for the Los Angeles Lakers. Russell Westbrook will be the starter, but it is a dynamic that will take some sacrifice from everyone involved. LeBron James is normally the lead playmaker for his teams, but Westbrook has taken over some of that role this season. Why not find another for the bench unit in Dejounte Murray? Murray would provide Los Angeles with a player that can be the point of attack defensively. He has great length, standing 6 feet 4 inches with a 6 feet 10 inches wingspan, providing him the ability to defend both backcourt positions and some wing players. Murray is also an improving pick-and-roll player. He made great strides in that area last season and has made some real progress early this season as well, which will make him more dangerous as he is already good at finishing at the rim and in the mid-range. Parting ways with Talen Horton-Tucker, however, is something Los Angeles may not be willing to do. They didn't include him at trade talks at the deadline when they pursued Kyle Lowry. If they wouldn't part with him for the multi-time All-Star, they may not be willing to do it for Murray either. How this trade impacts San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs are stuck in an awkward position. They are not going to tank games as long as Greg Popovich is the head coach. But they aren't good enough to be considered contenders in the Western Conference. The long-term outlook of the franchise would likely improve were they to land a top pick in the NBA draft. Unfortunately, they aren't bad enough to finish that low in the standings, either. So, they will have to get creative when trying to improve the ceiling of the team. Acquiring a soon-to-be 21-year-old with the potential of Talen Horton-Tucker would be a shrewd move. The Spurs have done an excellent job developing players in recent history. Horton-Tucker would benefit greatly going to a team that isn't in win-now mode. He needs reps to continue his development and will get playing time with the Lakers, but won't have nearly as long of a leash as he would in San Antonio. Kendrick Nunn is also a solid player that the Spurs are receiving. He can provide a scoring punch with the second unit or step into the starting lineup. Nunn was solid in both roles with the Miami Heat the last 2 seasons. If Murray is moved, the Spurs would have playing time opened up for rookie Joshua Primo as well. Primo was their first-round pick in the 2021 NBA draft. Derek White is also capable of soaking up some minutes at the point guard spot if need be. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.